I saw a story that you posted. Well, let's pull it up.
Oh no, I'm scared. What is it?
T-2 out. Why don't you read it? You read it.
T-2 hours until I'm on the most infinite incel podcast ever. I'm not referring to you. I'm referring to your audience. Your audience is like a lot of incels.
Well, hold on. So, okay, there's a couple claims there.
Yeah.
So now I feel like this is a bit. Hey guys.
No, I said it was misspelled. Also.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about with the sidebars. It is not.
I didn't have a sidebar.
Stop. It is. When I say no sidebars, that also just means saying irrelevant shit that doesn't fucking matter. The fact that she mispronounced it is immaterial to the conversation. You need not even allow anything to exit your mouth so as to disrupt our audio. So again, we repeatedly told you, one person speaking at a time. Please, if you do not have
that time, I just went like that, but she said she couldn't.
Well, that's why I gave her the yellow card.
Oh, I thought it was.
Please be fucking silent when somebody else is talking. You don't need to whisper even to yourself.
I didn't. I was looking this way.
Okay, so you didn't say anything?
I said it was misspelled.
Why the fuck would that matter? Don't speak unless it is material to the conversation. Not just to you, but to everybody. There's been a lot of crosstalk tonight, and the audience is not appreciating it. So I'm echoing their frustrations due to all the crosstalk. Please, if it is not material, important to the conversation, keep it to yourself. Be quiet, one person speaking at a time. Go ahead.
Oh, why I posted that story?
Not why you posted it, but there's a couple things to, I guess, dive into there.
Yeah.
So you're doing this is a sort of typical, I don't know what the right term is, if it's a passive-aggressive thing where women do when they get, I guess, called out on something, where they will walk back their position because they're not prepared to actually make a defense. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that about you. I wasn't talking about you. Mm-hmm. So pull it back up again so we can have the record show most infamous incel podcast ever. Now, you didn't write that I'm going on perhaps the most infamous podcast with an incel audience. Incel podcast would suggest that the podcast itself is incel, not just the audience viewers or the members or whatever. So there's two claims there, that it's infamous and then it's incel. Well, I'm not going to really dispute you on the infamy part. Mm-hmm. I might just be willing to grant that the podcast is controversial. Mm-hmm. I don't step away from that. But where I would like to engage you on is the incel part. So what does incel mean?
So it initially started as a term for involuntarily celibate, but it's kind of evolved into its own word to describe, I feel like, mostly frustrated men online who attack women.
So, okay, but you do acknowledge that the origination of the term,
yes,
and like words do have meanings.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so when you say that the podcast is incel, what are you trying to communicate?
Number one, I post a lot of loaded things on TikTok, on Instagram, because it gets engagement. And it's kind of like satire. I'm over-exaggerating, right?
Yes, I understand that, like, you want to, there's like hyperbole, you want to, okay, I get that.
The hyperbole is that I think a lot of, especially on Instagram, a lot of people that know me, like, I was invited on this podcast very long ago, and people are like, don't go on it, it's bad for your image. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a hyperbole, I guess, almost to defend myself for going on this podcast, to be completely honest.
This seems like a bit of a Mott and Bailey, where it's forward an argument that is more objectionable and then retreat back to a more defensible position. So in this case, you're saying, well, it was hyperbole. Well, it was just for the rage baiting. Well, when I say incel, it's just something I disagree with, or that is speaking about men who are just sort of generally frustrated with dating, and not necessarily about like true incels who are like actually involuntarily celibate. Mm-hmm. So I can really only engage with you on like what words actually mean. Mm-hmm. So from my perspective, now, I am aware that people use incel as a sort of, they don't use it, I'm aware that they use it incorrectly. Mm-hmm. But incel to me has an actual definition, which means like somebody who's involuntarily celibate and who like typically struggles severely with dating. And these are almost, women can't be incel. So it's almost always men.
Yeah.
When's the last time you had sex?
Like a year ago.
So could it be the case, say you were to start a podcast, and if I had sex more recently than you did,
Yeah.
that it might actually be you who has the incel podcast, given that you haven't had sex in like a year and a half, which is kind of a long time.
Yeah, I think that's valid. Like,
Although,
it's
to
not
be fair,
involuntary.
to be charitable though, it's not that you can't get sex. Like you could probably fuck a guy tonight if you were so inclined. It's more so that, so you're not strictly incel because you could get laid tonight if you wanted to, but you also haven't fucked in a year and a half. So the accusation of incel though seems a bit interesting to me.
Okay, that's valid.
Okay.
That's valid.
So why is the podcast infamous then?
Because there are a lot of hot takes that the general population disagrees with,
Okay.
right?
So what do you disagree with?
I mean, I haven't watched a ton of clips, but I think like it's mostly the audience. Like if I were to read chat right now, I think I would really disagree with a lot. I can't really, I'm trying to think of an example. Like for example, on my TikTok comments, people will be like, oh, she has a body count that's over 2, like she's a whore. I think that that's like ridiculous to think that.
Is
And,
anyone
like-
actually saying that?
Oh yeah, people say that all the time. They
Over
do in
2?
my lives.
Well, I mean, you could, so hold on, you could go on pretty much any live streamer,
Yeah.
streamer's live stream, look at their chat, and it's
Yeah.
going to be, live stream chat is kind of known for being
And that's an insult thing to
toxic.
say, right?
What do you mean?
To say, oh, she's a whore, she has a body count of 2, 3.
Why would, well, I believe, no, I don't think that would necessarily be an incel take.
No.
They're bigots.
That wouldn't even be bigoted, but no, it wouldn't be. It's not inherently incel to slut shame. That's not incel. Like you could, highly promiscuous men will slut shame.
That
women.
could be a
That's
preference.
my definition of incel, right?
Is what?
I guess like I would actually genuinely sympathize with someone who's like genuinely involuntarily celibate, 1,000%. But my like perception of incel is someone who like hates women, like becomes frustrated.
Because that's
with
what
women.
exactly what it gradually became, and that's the
Well,
new
can I ask you a
age
question? Do you
definition. The
think-
old age definition
You know
is
what's
what he's
actually,
talking about.
you know what's actually funny about that is that actually it's men who are major players and who fuck a lot of women. I would argue that they have more misogynistic viewpoints on women than do the guys who struggle to date women.
But they're not online, right?
They're not online.
I don't think they're online like that.
I mean, red pillars. They're
Are everywhere.
Like I don't think they're watching like podcasts. Like I think they have a life. If they're
Men who
attracted
fuck a
to
bunch of
women, yeah.
no men. I
You don't
mean,
think so?
I
lot
I
of
think
players
there's
listen to
I think there's a
podcasts,
wide
absolutely.
I think there's a wide amount of variety in terms of the people who will consume various content. You can have anywhere from like playboys who will watch varying kinds of content to guys who struggle with dating watching certain kinds of content. So furthermore, your assertion that the audience is incel, so the audience is involuntarily celibate, what's your evidence for that?
Again, I am using the new age definition of incel, right? Like
So
I'm,
misogynists?
yeah, like
Okay,
I guess
so-
like
so
rage
am I-
baiting misogynists.
Am
in
I a
way.
misogynist?
I don't necessarily think you're a misogynist, but I think some of your takes can be a bit rage baity.
Rage baity
Or
in a misogynistic way.
I think a lot of people would perceive it. A lot of the people that I, for example, went to college with, like I went to college in Vermont, very, very liberal state, they would perceive you as a misogynist, 1,000%.
How so?
Me, I've been living in Texas for a while. I can understand some of your takes, but just like
But so what would be misogynistic?
traditional values, traditional viewpoints.
Your conservative views.
Why is that
Wait, hold on.
misogynistic?
Hold on.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying people will perceive it that
They
way.
do
'cause I-
perceive you like that in Texas, like bad.
I mean,
Who is
Texas
they?
is
Wait,
very
who is they?
conservative
Yeah,
state.
no,
Your
it's
neighbors?
more like
Are you the representative of all people who live in
yes.
Texas?
Yes, I'm Texas.
They
All
sent
the-
she is Texas specifically.
So I'm looking for what are my positions or what have I said that is misogynistic. But before we do that, we need to be precise about our definitions. What is a misogynist?
Somebody who is bigoted against women.
Okay, so how about this? Someone who either hates women or who has prejudice,
I'd say
towards
prejudice.
women.
Yeah.
But it could also just be hate, too.
Yeah, it could be hate.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the misogynistic takes that I have?
I haven't watched much of your content,
But you said
in
the traditional what?
Yeah, like traditional values. I think that I don't perceive it this way, but like I know this podcast has had a lot of takes and kind of like degradation of girls in the like sex work industry, and like I think people perceive that as misogynistic. Yeah.
So you said degradation of sex workers.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I guess like the jokes about like not being able to vote, the jokes about like
I don't make those jokes.
you did, you made one earlier.
It was a comparison. It wasn't really a
Yeah,
joke.
and like,
What-
oh, I
what
don't
did I
listen to
say?
women speak.
What did I
like
say?
that one.
You said women
said-
shouldn't be able to vote.
I don't
When did I
think that
say
was a
that?
No,
joke.
I think you
At
just
the
made a
beginning of the
comparison.
podcast.
It was
Yeah.
like
When did I say that?
hypothetical.
Beginning of the podcast.
Give me the
It was a
context.
hypothetical you said.
What was the context?
I don't remember the context. I just remember
No,
that
whoa,
the
whoa,
song
hold on.
exists.
This is the gaslighting women do. You're completely misremembering.
Chill out.
No, stop.
Chill
You
out.
hear what you want to hear.
And what you said is if you
Rewind the
take
tape.
No, stop. I got it. I asked, you were saying something along the lines of when we were talking about traditional gender roles and men paying for dates, I asked you the question if women should be able to vote. That isn't a prescriptive
No,
claim.
that's not true.
That's literally, you want to.
You can play it
What did I
back.
say?
The reason
What
that
did
you
I say?
asked-
You tell me what I said.
You said women shouldn't be able to vote.
You're fucking retarded. That's not fucking
No,
true.
that's-
I asked, should women be able to vote? In the context of a conversation about unfairness and gender roles and paying for dates.
I also remember you saying like I don't listen to women like speak or something. It was a joke,
But that
I
was-
don't-
that's
but
different,
The
and that was a
reason you were
joke.
making the joke is because that kind of appeals to your audience. They find that funny, and that's,
I find it funny.
He finds it funny
I
too.
find it funny.
Yeah,
It's part of his audience.
I think if you were serious, this podcast is proof of why women shouldn't vote.
Furthermore, by the way, it's obviously a joke because I spent 7, 8, 9 hours listening to women. So if somebody in the Discord can go back, rewind the tape, did not say that. Of course, that's the sort of slanderous thing that you can expect from a woman. Just kidding. But yeah, very slanderous. Definitely never made the claim that women shouldn't vote. I asked you a question.
Flashback.
Now, and you would agree, perhaps you would agree that a man paying for a date is traditional
Absolutely.
gender role.
Yes.
Do you think it's traditional to show up to a date with another man's cum inside of you?
I mean, that's a hypothetical. It's a hypothetical, you know. Like,
And you're right. I'm
Yeah,
asking you to
exactly.
engage with the hypothetical.
yes, I still believe that. Yeah, definitely.
So, okay, so tradition for men,
Yeah.
modernity, freedom for women.
Yes, I absolutely believe that he should still pay for the date.
Well, so what I'm asking here, though, is more so an examination of gender roles and fairness and what people deserve.
Listen,
So-
life's not fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we take away women's right to vote?
Well,
No.
that's out of left field.
That,
Hold on,
that's,
but
that's,
life's not
that doesn't-
fair.
That's not relevant.
And it was
That's-
End of flashback.
Asking a question is not the same thing as having the position.
I've never voted.
Okay, congratulations. Back to this. What are the misogynistic things that I believe or say?
Okay, I think that this is really rooted from my viral TikToks that you took several months ago and you posted on Twitter, and they
Yeah,
were
we-
absolutely viral. And it wasn't you, but your audience commented some of the most misogynistic
Whoa,
things
wait,
I've
hold on.
ever heard in my life.
What was the TikTok?
The first one was like, I was like, oh, like I was at the grocery store and I looked a guy up and down and he like looked like he was
Which
scared.
we will play the but so
Okay.
I would love to
but
see
hold
it.
on.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
so you have to understand the X algorithm. I had like I don't know if I posted that on my main thing or my like Brian Atlas. Probably at the time I had like 20,000 followers. When you get in the X algorithm, the majority of people who see that aren't even following you. So it's not my audience,
Yeah.
but in any case, you'd have to actually present like some sort of evidence. Like I completely contest this idea that like my audience is just a bunch of incels. Like how can you actually, where is the proof for that? Where's the
I think
evidence?
we should read the comments on that video and the Hinge video.
But okay, so
Let's read the
Andrew, would you agree that Andrew Tate has made misogynistic comments?
he's a
okay,
full-on misogynist.
but hold on. So Andrew Tate, full-on misogynist,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he's made similar comments to the people that leave comments on my videos. Do you think Andrew Tate has difficulty getting laid?
But he's a different tier to
horrible
you.
person.
Right, but the idea that if you leave negative comment, that somehow means that you are thus incapable. Like if you leave a misogynistic comment, you must be an incel. No, like actually the reality is it's the playboys who probably have like the more objectionable perspectives on women than the guys who like, you know, kind of struggle a bit to date all the way to incels. But anyways, what about me though? What about me is misogynistic, or what I've said that's misogynistic?
I'm not saying that I think you're misogynistic. I just think given the
Sex
audience
work,
that
the
you
trad.
have, people
It's the
perceive you
audience.
that way. People perceive you that way.
Because of my audience, who they don't know anything about.
And they don't. But like, for example, when I saw those comments and I didn't know that the X algorithm works that way, that was
Okay.
so bad. That was so bad.
So, well, yeah, I mean, comments
You
on
saw the comments on that.
I don't think it was actually that bad, but on X, especially, Twitter is pretty toxic. I'll give you that. But you can go on any social media platform.
Yeah.
You could play video. You could be a video game streamer. You could be a woman who does makeup tutorials. You're gonna get bad comments. Like this has been known about YouTube for a really long time.
I've never
The
seen that.
comment section is bad. Like the comment sections are bad. Personally, I don't even think my comment section is all that bad, though, to be honest.
Okay.
But maybe I've been doing YouTube since 2012. I mean, maybe I have thick skin. I don't know. But ultimately, comments really aren't all that bad. And that's the internet landscape. Like you probably do some video about, I don't know, whatever, something totally benign that's inoffensive and it's like neutral. And you probably get nasty comments on stuff where you're talking about, I don't know, fucking Disney or some shit.
Can we, for a minute, go back to the Andrew Tate conversation? Because it's very surprising to me that the two of you who are in marketing in one way or the other, do you think Andrew Tate is famous because he really thinks what he says? Or do you think he's famous because he says what he says for a shock
He's
effect?
famous because he's a rage baiter. That's it.
He feeds off
Great,
the
so
side.
that's
hold
that.
on,
So you just
TTS.
Liz Chavez donated $200. Stop confusing misogyny with patriarchy. Brian asks the right questions. The guests just can't handle the truth, so they resort to gaslighting and word games.
You are so right. Oh my God, you are so right.
Facts.